Packers fans, you guys just got a double dose of great news. Welcome to the Packers Report. My name is Joey Peterson. So happy that you guys are all hanging out with me today. And if you watched Sunday's game, the absolute domination of the Detroit Lions, and then if you turned on Monday Night Football last night, then you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. The NFC North, as it currently sits right now, after week one, I get it, there's 16 more games left to be played. But the Packers and Vikings find themselves tied for first place, both 1-0. Bears and Lions, of course, find themselves tied for last place at 0-1. And that's what we're going to start with today's show. My first part of great news that we're going to discuss is the NFC North, in my opinion, does not look near as scary as it did last year and not near as scary as we kind of anticipated it going into 2025. And then the second part, I'm going to give you a stat that's going to blow your mind. And it's going to make you think, wow, this defense might be absolutely legit. Before we get into either of those things, though, I got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Don't go anywhere. But I got to ask you guys, hit that subscribe button, okay? We are starting our Week 2 sub battle against the Commanders Report, and we are starting down 18 subs. Not terrible, okay? It's not an impossible deficit to come back from, but I'm going to need your help, okay? If you're subscribed to the channel, great. Share it with someone who isn't, and if you're not, all you got to do is hit that big red sub button. Helps us take down the Commanders Report, and if we beat them in this, I got a good feeling that we'll beat them on Thursday night as well. So if you wanted to watch and root for the lesser of two evils last night, well, you had that choice. ESPN's Monday Night Football featured the Vikings, Bears. I really like how the NFC North already had two divisional games in the first week of the season. It was an up-and-down performance really from both teams. Obviously, Minnesota was able to pull it out late on the road. And that's where I want to start, okay, with the Minnesota Vikings. And I get it, right? People are impressed with the end of that game from J.J. McCarthy. They're saying, oh my gosh, this guy is absolutely unbelievable. How clutch he was at the very end of that game was something that we have never, ever seen before. But, let's not forget, A, his first half was really, really bad. And two, let's not just sit here and act like it wasn't an absolute collapse by the Chicago Bears. It was just as much in part of J.J. playing better as it was the Bears' defense absolutely just blowing this thing and giving this thing away. J.J. was fine. 13 for 20, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Was very inconsistent, right? Had to get a lot of help from his friends around him. And credit to Minnesota, he's got a lot of really good weapons around him. But still, 13 for 20 on the day. And we'll just stick with J.J. McCarthy here, Gage, until we go next. But 13 for 20 of the day, I think it's a good look into what the upcoming season is going to be for the Minnesota Vikings. They got a rookie quarterback. First year. I get it. He got drafted a year and a half ago, but this is his first year as a starter. There's going to be a lot of ups, and there's going to be a lot of downs, just like you saw that in game one. Okay? And so, yeah, he might have a higher ceiling than Sam Darnold did last year, but I can tell you this, and I can promise you this, the floor for Minnesota and the floor for J.J. McCarthy is much lower. And we saw it in the beginning of yesterday's game. He struggled with accuracy. He was panicking in the pocket. He didn't look like he had a ton of confidence. And so I think that's the J.J. we're going to see a lot from time to time in 2025. Sure, you'll see flashes, but also it helped that the flash you saw at the end of that game was because the Bears defense absolutely choked it away and because, they just did what the Bears usually do. Speaking of the Bears, let's talk about them next because, oh, wow, they were really, really embarrassing. It made me really, really happy to see. I don't want to say I was scared about the Bears going into the season because I wasn't. In fact, if you look at my season prediction, you can go ahead and push this across, Gage. If you look at my season prediction, I predicted them to be swept by Green Bay. And what we saw last night, knowing that it's the same old Chicago Bears, it makes me happy to see. I predicted them to be better, still not good enough, and they are not there. Okay? And I want to say that this all starts with their quarterback. Because over the last year, in 1 week, So for the entirety that Caleb Williams has been an NFL starting quarterback, he leads NFL QBs with 52 incompletions due to an overthrow. That's 17 more than the next highest guy. That is a massive problem that Chicago, Ben Johnson, and Caleb Williams has on their hands. And look, Ben Johnson has made them better. I think that was evident last night because a Brian Flores defense is a hard thing to play against. It's a hard thing to win against. But still at the same time, I don't believe that Caleb Williams is that guy. I don't believe that Caleb Williams is that quarterback. And that's great news for the Green Bay Packers. Because you look over the last 2 seasons, or not even over the last 2 seasons, the 2024 NFL draft, your two of your biggest rivals, both drafted quarterbacks in the top 10 that they're expecting to be their future. And as we sit right now, and I get it, it's early. I'm not writing these guys off 100%, but I don't know if these 2 guys look like they can be a franchise quarterback. So now you look at the division, and you see the Lions, and you say, you know what? We just absolutely dominated them on both sides of the football field. The Bears, in my opinion, they still don't have the guy. And while the Vikings might have a fine season, there's going to be a lot of growing pains ahead of them with the rookie QB in J.J. McCarthy, who showed some good things, but he also showed a ton bad. Basically, what I'm getting at is this is your division to win. It might not have felt like that going into the season, but I think after the first week of games, that's what I'm taking from this. Okay? The NFC North is Green Bay's if they want it. All they got to do is go out there, play good football, play clean football, and go out and win the games they're supposed to, and they're going to win that division title. What say you guys? Okay, who wins the NFC North in 2025? You let me know in the comment section down below. I better see as many Green Bay Packers as I can. Y'all get in those comment sections. Coming up, we're going to take a deep dive into the defense. That is our second dose of great news. This team, this defense in particular, is a lot more special than I think we all thought it was going to be. What's also really special is you guys can take advantage of this awesome deal right now by going to chatsports.com/gbpolo, okay? You're going to find that link in the comment section and description of today's video, and it gives you straight here, $33. Packers Polo. You're not going to really find that anywhere else. It looks cool. It feels great, like all their stuff does. And you know what? It helps you support the best as well. Just $33, $22 off. That offer is not going to last very long. The longer we get into football season, the less you're going to get this kind of discount, okay? So chatsports.com/gbpolo. Again, that's in the comment section and description of today's video. So head down there and take advantage of this deal. So I was really impressed with the defense, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. I said that in my instant reaction. I think I said that in my overreaction as well. I think that was maybe my first overall takeaway was about the defense. But when I saw this particular stat, I'm not going to lie to you, it really, really shocked me. And in a good way, that is. So in this 7 plays, Micah Parsons, Lukas Van Ness, and Rashan Gary played together in week 1. 7 times, all 3 of those guys were on the field. Detroit got 6 yards of offense. Are you kidding me? 6 yards led up by Green Bay when Micah, Rashan, and Lukas Van Ness were on the field together. That shows me a lot. It shows me that these guys can be absolutely dominant, and it shows me that Jeff Hafley was out there just having fun, putting these guys all over the field together. You saw Lukas Van Ness on the interior sometimes. You saw Micah Parsons on the interior sometimes. These guys could go anywhere. You could do anything with all 3 of them on the field, and it worked. And they were pressuring the quarterback at a high rate. 10 pressures combined from the 3 of them. A quarterback pressure percentage that averages out to about 13%. And combined, they had, 3 sacks, the 3 of them? Guys, I'll take that every single day. If those 3 guys can combine for 3 sacks a game, I would sign up for that right now. And the thing is they weren't playing the Browns. They weren't playing the Giants. They weren't playing the Saints. They were playing a really, really good team, a team that won 15 games. a year ago. And they really didn't lose much outside of the interior of that offensive line, okay? Really, really impressive stuff from Green Bay. What do you guys think about that defense? Grade it for me in the comment section down below. Give them an A, B, C, D, or F. Act like you're going back to school. It's early September. Everybody should be there anyway. So if your kids act like if you got a kid, act like you're their teacher. Get those red pens out and grade the defense for me. Another awesome little chat stat before we get on out of here. Detroit's running backs, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, who a year ago were two of the better running backs in the National Football League, they combined for just 2.7 yards each time they touched the ball. Now, you did not read that as 2.7 yards per carry. That was 2.7 yards every time they touched the ball. That includes screen passes as well. But if you're just looking at yards per carry, these are two guys that got 5.6 yards a carry and 4.2 yards a carry just a year ago. And then when they play Green Bay, it was much less. 2.1, 2.3. They knew exactly what to do to take those two guys out of the game, and they did it. That is so impressive. And we knew that this was going to be one of the keys to victory. You have to stop the run against Detroit because they have so many weapons. If you stop the run, it makes it a lot easier to get to Jared Goff, and it makes it a lot easier to defend the pass. That's just kind of how football works. This team and this defense have unreal potential in 2025. And you still got some guys out, right? Nate Hobbs didn't play. You're going to get your second best cornerback out there pretty dang soon. I love what this team did. I love how this defense looked. And I thought they were going to be good. I thought they were going to be better, much improved. But they were better even than I thought they were going to be. That's going to do it for today's show. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure you got me on Twitter and on Instagram at JoeyPeterson8 on both those platforms. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Daily updates on your Green Bay Packers.